I'm 87 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might upset you. Everything you think you know about what matters in life is completely wrong. Your parents lied to you. Your teachers lied to you. Society programmed you to chase the wrong things. And I know because I spent 52 years of my life doing exactly that. At age 52, something happened that shattered everything I believed. And what I discovered in the 35 years since has completely changed how I see what truly matters in this short, precious life we get. I'm making this because I'm running out of time and there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 52, I had everything. I was a partner at a law firm, corner office on the 47th floor with a view of the harbor, 3-story house in the suburbs, BMW in the garage, wife who looked good at charity events, 2 kids in private schools. I thought I had it all figured out. I had the respect, the money, the status. People called me successful. I was invited to the right dinner parties. My name was on plaques. I billed 2,800 hours a year and thought that made me valuable. I was living the dream. At least that's what everyone told me. I was in a deposition on a Tuesday afternoon when it happened. Middle of questioning a witness about contract language. Felt like someone stabbed me in the chest with a hot knife. The room started spinning. I couldn't breathe. My left arm went numb. They called 911. Partner drove me to St. Vincent's Hospital. The whole time I'm thinking about the billable hours I'm losing, about the client meeting I'm missing, about how this looks unprofessional. Even as I'm dying, I'm worried about work. Doctors called it a massive myocardial infarction. That's a fancy way of saying my heart tried to kill me. Triple bypass surgery, 3 weeks in the hospital, 6 months recovery. You know what I remember most? My wife sitting in the corner of that hospital room, crying. Not because she almost lost me, because she realized she'd lost me years ago. My son visited once, stayed 20 minutes, looked at his phone the whole time. Later, my wife told me he said, "I don't really know what to say to him. We don't have anything to talk about." I'd worked 80-hour weeks for 25 years to give him everything. Private school, college with no debt, summer programs in Europe. And he didn't know me well enough to sit in a hospital room for more than 20 minutes. A colleague visited and said, "You're so lucky. This is like a forced vacation." Lucky. I almost died, and he thought I was lucky. Lying in that hospital bed, machines beeping, chest cracked open and sewn back together, I realized something terrifying. I had been living my entire life on autopilot. I wasn't really alive. I was just going through the motions, checking boxes, climbing ladders, playing a game I never agreed to play. Let me tell you the biggest lie you're probably telling yourself right now. I have time. When I make partner, then I'll relax. When I pay off the house, then I'll travel. When the kids are grown, then I'll pursue my passions. When I retire, then I'll finally live the life I want. Let me save you 35 years of regret with one simple truth. That day never comes. You know why? Because the goalposts keep moving. You get the promotion and suddenly you need the next one. You pay off the house and suddenly you need a bigger house. You make 6 figures and suddenly 6 figures isn't enough. You're always chasing something just out of reach, and before you know it, you're 87 years old wondering where your life went. You're climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall the entire time. And you can't climb back down and start over. Time doesn't work that way. I had a friend who died 12 years ago at 61. James worked 70-hour weeks for 30 years, building a manufacturing business. Never took vacations, missed his kids' soccer games, skipped anniversaries because of client dinners. He built a $15 million company, had 200 employees, was respected in the industry. He kept saying he'd slow down next year. He said it for 15 years straight. Massive stroke at his desk on a Thursday morning, dead before the ambulance arrived. At his funeral, his daughter stood up and said, "My father was a successful businessman. He provided everything we needed, but I barely knew him. He was always working, and now it's too late." Is that the legacy you want? A bank account your kids inherit and a relationship they never had? Your regrets won't be about the things you did wrong. They'll be about the things you didn't do at all. My mother died when I was 45. We had a complicated relationship. She was critical. I was defensive. We hadn't had a real conversation in years. I was always too busy to really work on it. Too busy to drive the 3 hours to visit. Too busy to call on Sundays. Too busy to sit down and actually talk about the things that mattered. I kept thinking we'd have time to fix it when I was less busy, when the big case settled, when I made partner, when things calmed down. She had a heart attack in her garden on a Saturday afternoon, gone in minutes. We never got that chance. And you know my biggest regret? Not the arguments, not the tension, all the Sundays I didn't call her, all the times I was too tired to drive over for dinner, all the little moments I let slip away because I was focused on things that don't matter now. I can't remember a single case I won that year, but I remember perfectly that I never got to tell her I loved her one last time. There won't always be more. I don't lie awake at night thinking about cases I lost, clients I didn't land, partnerships I didn't make. Those don't matter. You know what keeps me up? The trip to Japan I never took with my wife because I was too busy. She'd wanted to go for 20 years. She died 8 years ago. We never went. The relationship with my daughter that I let deteriorate because work was always more important. We're civil now, but we're not close. And that's my fault. The novel I always wanted to write but never started because there were always briefs to file and depositions to take. The time I didn't spend with my kids when they were young because I was building a career that doesn't mean anything now. These things eat at you. The missed opportunities, the roads not taken, the love you didn't express, the experiences you postponed, the people you took for granted. After my heart attack, I made big changes. I stepped back from the firm, cut my hours to 20 per week, then eventually retired at 58. Started saying no to things that didn't matter. Started saying yes to things I'd put off for decades. In these last 35 years, I've learned more about life than I did in the previous 52 years. What matters is embarrassingly simple. Time with people you love, work that feels meaningful to you, experiencing things, not owning things, creating memories, being present in your own life. I know it sounds simple. When I was your age, I would have rolled my eyes. Sure, but I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. And yes, you do. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm not saying abandon responsibility. I'm saying don't sacrifice what matters for what doesn't. There's a difference between working to live and living to work, between providing for your family and never seeing them, between building security and missing your life entirely. You don't need the corner office to be happy. You don't need the luxury car. You don't need the house that impresses neighbors you don't even like. What you need is time, experiences, connection, presence. Here's what I wish I'd known at your age. Your kids won't remember the size of your house. They'll remember if you were there, if you showed up, if you paid attention, if you made them feel loved and seen. My grandson is 12. For the last 6 years, I've picked him up from school every Tuesday. We get ice cream. We talk. Sometimes we just sit in comfortable silence. Last month he told his mother, "Grandpa is my best friend." 6 years of Tuesdays. That's all it took. And it's worth more than everything I built in 25 years of 80-hour weeks. Your relationships need maintenance, not when it's convenient, not when you have time. Now, regular, consistent. I talk to my daughter 3 times a week now. We had to rebuild from almost nothing. It took years, but we did it because I finally made it a priority. That's what you do with things that matter. You prioritize them. You schedule them. You show up. Your health isn't negotiable. I ignored chest pains for 6 months before my heart attack because I was too busy to see a doctor. I ate takeout at my desk. I never exercised. I slept 4 hours a night. I thought I was being productive. I was being stupid. You get one body, one heart, one brain. Take care of it. Because when it breaks, everything else becomes irrelevant. Your dreams don't have expiration dates, but you do. I started painting at 67. Always wanted to. Thought I needed talent or training. Finally just bought supplies and started. I'm not good, but I love it, and that's enough. What are you putting off? What are you waiting for? Permission? The perfect moment? Those don't come. Start now, start badly, start scared, but start. Here's what I know now that I wish I'd known then. Nobody on their deathbed wishes they'd worked more. Nobody. They wish they'd loved more, laughed more, traveled more, created more, connected more. The moments that matter are smaller than you think, not the big promotions or the fancy vacations, the Tuesday afternoon ice cream, the Sunday phone call, the quiet morning coffee, the conversation in the kitchen, the walk around the block. These are the moments that become your life, and you're probably missing them right now. Money matters until your needs are met. After that, more money doesn't make you happier. It just gives you more stuff to maintain and more things to worry about. I made millions in my career. You know what brings me joy now? Talking to my grandson, reading in my chair by the window, walking in the park with my neighbor, watching the sunrise. None of that costs anything. Success is a moving target. Every achievement reveals another mountain to climb. You'll never feel like you've made it. if that's what you're chasing. But you can feel content. You can feel present. You can feel alive. Right now, today, regardless of what you've achieved. Here's what you need to do today, not tomorrow, today. Look at your calendar. What are you spending your time on? Be honest. How much of it actually matters? How much of it is just noise? Obligation to people you don't even like? Chasing goals you didn't choose? Cut something that doesn't matter. One thing. This week. Say no to something that steals your time and gives nothing back. Call someone you love. Not a text, not an email. Actually call. Have a real conversation. Tell them you love them. Ask them how they're really doing. Listen. I call my daughter every Sunday morning. It's 30 minutes. It's the best 30 minutes of my week. Schedule something you've been putting off. The trip, the hobby, the project, the conversation. Put it on the calendar. Make it real. Stop saying someday. If you died tomorrow, what would you regret not doing? Write it down and figure out how to start it this month, not next year, this month. Stop measuring your life by achievements and start measuring it by moments, by presence, by connection, by joy. I'm 87 years old. If I'm lucky, maybe 5 more years, maybe 10, probably less, and I'm okay with that. Because these last 35 years have been the richest of my life. Not because I made more money, I didn't, because I finally started living intentionally, appreciating every single day, prioritizing what actually matters. I've traveled to 22 countries I'd always wanted to see, rebuilt relationships with my children and grandchildren, learned to paint, badly but joyfully, made new friends, forgiven old enemies, said, I love you thousands of times, showed up, paid attention, lived. I'm happier now at 87 with less time ahead than I was at 45 when I thought I had all the time in the world. That's the irony. When you understand time is limited, you start to actually live. You stop wasting it on things that don't matter. You stop postponing joy. You stop making excuses. You say no to what drains you. You say yes to what fulfills you. You create the memories while you still can. You have a choice right now, today. Keep living the way you're living. Chasing success, climbing ladders, postponing life, telling yourself you'll make time later. Or wake up. Realize time is running out faster than you think. And the life you're waiting to live needs to start now. I can't make this choice for you. But I can tell you, you don't want to be 87 years old, looking back, wishing you'd made different choices. Don't waste 52 years figuring this out. Learn from my mistakes, learn from my regrets. Learn from the 35 years I've spent trying to make up for the time I lost. Live intentionally. Prioritize what matters. Stop waiting for someday. Someday is today. It always has been. If this resonates, share this video, leave a comment. Tell me what you're going to do differently. Subscribe, because I have more truths to share and not much time left. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time?